ready to dive into a new world of online shopping with the Finn's Tailgate. Whether you're a die-hard sports fan or just looking for the latest fashion trends, we've got you covered. With a wide variety of products from your favorite sports teams to stylish accessories and home decor, we're your one-stop shop for all things tailgate. Our easy-to-use website and hassle-free checkout process make shopping with us a breeze. Plus, with frequent sales and discounts, you won't want to shop anywhere else. So come on in and join the party at the Finn's Tailgate, your new go-to destination for all things tailgate.
New seasons, new gear. Show the world what it means to be a fan in 100% authentic gear. Fanatics. Officially licensed everything.
Good morning, Finn fans. How's everybody doing? It's Friday morning, and this is Top of the Tailgate. I am your host, Ali the Persian, and we're here back at it again, Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. This is Top of the Tailgate. How's everybody doing? Make sure you hit like and subscribe. Let's get that going. We have a good show planned for you today. Color will be with us shortly, so don't worry, he'll be here. We'll be talking some of the latest news. I know we were gone for a little bit of a hiatus. It's the 4th of July effect. This is what happens when you have 4th of July in the middle of the week. You know, you got to take some time to recover from all the fun and goodness with the family and the fireworks and drinking, family repeat. You know, that's basically what we do around here. And that's sometimes you got to take a break from that. And I had to. So that's why we haven't been around for about 2 days. But that's okay. If you wanted some good action, go check out the 4th of July show that we put up. Me and Shake Money held it down. I want to say it's like a 4-hour show. So check it out. Some really good stuff there. Good comments, good commentary, some great stuff. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. I see a lot of people in the chat already. Well, we'll definitely be shouting out to them. But while we're waiting, come check out some of the other content we got. We have El Capitan, the Finn's Tailgate. Had an awesome show with Brian Cat last night. Check it out. You got me and Color in the mornings from Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. Top of the Tailgate. We'll also be bringing back Late Night Exhale. I want to say the week of start of preseason. We're trying to keep it where the shows line up to be the day before the game. So because we start on a Friday here, I'm not sure how that's going to work, but it will be back strong and full and better than ever. I promise you. Also, with that being said, check out any new stuff that we're going to be putting out. Shout out to our newest team member, KP. We got stuff lined up for him. Can't wait for that. Lewis and Shake Money doing smoke lounges, filling in for me on Saturdays. You know, we got a lot going on with Lewis and Shake Money taking over spaces. You know, Shake has been on the blender. I was on the blender. Man, Shake had me rattled and shaked in my own seat. You know, it's different being the interviewee versus the interviewer. You know, I'll tell you that it's kind of nerve-wracking a little bit. In addition to that, I'm not a numbers guy. I'm sorry. You know, you might see I don't really remember everybody's number, but names I will never forget. Names I won't forget. So shout out to Shake Money. I had a great time on his show on Larry K. You can check that out on Larry K's channel. By the way, while you're also hanging out, you know, check out some of our affiliates that we have. You saw earlier we mentioned Fanatics. You can get your officially licensed gear at Fanatics. Um, Everything from jerseys, hats, logos, the whole 10 yards. You can get everything there in addition to some other great stuff. Some signed memorabilia that's officially signed. So check that stuff out. And in addition to it, there's all different teams, all different sports. It's your one-stop shop for everything. Now, why you want to use the link that we have below? What is different between that and going straight to Fanatics? Actually, there's really nothing different. The only difference is it gives credit to the channel that we sent you. That's pretty much what it is. And we'd appreciate it if you used our link. You get all the same deals. You can even have split payments on stuff. It's pretty cool stuff there. So go check out Fanatics. While you're also hanging out, check out Backroom Collection. If you're looking for some awesome artwork that you can virtually hang anywhere and everywhere, even your mother's kitchen, the outhouse, doesn't matter. You can put some awesome, Miami Dolphins artwork, canvas artwork that's customizable, not just for the Dolphins, but other sports as well. Check out Backroom Collection. They got some really cool stuff. Use the link below. We sent you. You can use code TFTG at checkout. Save 10% off of your order. And last but not least, let's not forget Doobie Energy Drink. Doobie Energy Drink is a little bit different than a lot of energy supplements that are out there. They have a lot more vitamins and minerals that um, positively affect brain functions such as concentration and focus. Um, and in addition, it does not include a lot of the sugars that are bad for you and in the byproduct stuff that's bad for the body. That being said, you don't get that jittering or crashing that you do at the end. Shake Money has done some reveal videos about what he thinks about it in his review, and he says the same thing. He doesn't get the crashing or jittering or anything like that. So definitely check it out. I know he's gonna be doing a lot more videos with the different flavors. He says he likes a lot of the flavors so far that he's tried. So shout out to all of our affiliates. We appreciate them. Like I said, check out the link below. And don't forget to go to tftgnetwork.com, our website. One-stop shop for tailgate everything, right? You get our merch there. You can look at all of our videos there, our Twitter feed. There's even going to be articles and stuff we're in. I have some that are already out. You can go read from the past that I wrote. It has some good information about some stuff that went down in past several months, and questions that we had that we talked about even on the show. So definitely check out tftgnetwork.com. We're going to be, that site is going to be morphing and building into something special. I know it, and I want everyone to be a part of it. So also, if you sign up for the newsletter, which will give you a lot earlier access and information about content that's upcoming here on the Fins Tailgate, get 10% off your first purchase from the merch store. So check that out. Some really funny shirts, fun stuff that we talk about and do here on the Tailgate all the time. So check out Fins Tailgate. Sorry, TFTGnetwork.com. All right, let's keep it moving. Also, if you'd like more content, you can become a member. It's the easiest way to donate to the channel by becoming a member. You have 3 different levels. You have Amigos, Familia, and MVP, right? Each one gives you a little bit more content than the other. There's some really cool emojis. I know people in the chat may have seen the new Buffalo one. Yes, that was brought to you by me. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to take credit for it. That's HP in the back, putting out some funny stuff. So you get emojis, depending on how long you've been a member. There's certain badges and stuff. Some cool stuff. So we appreciate all the members. We wouldn't be here without you. In addition, shout out to, let's see who's in the chat. We got Flava J. How's it going? Pins up. Resident Bills fan Michael K in the chat. How's it going, man? Louis Amador, bro. How you doing, man? Facebook user, good morning and good day. All right, well, thank you for joining us. If you're on the Facebook side, come over to YouTube, join the chat, join the conversation. Chef Jew, how's it going, man? You're up early, man. Appreciate you stopping by. Cruz Ruiz, how's it going, bud? Trucker Sean, how you doing, man? And then we got C. Hoffel, man. Dude, found out C. Hoffel is from the Northwest Ohio area. where I'm from. So that was pretty dope. I liked, seeing that. But that just shows you how far the Miami Dolphins fandom expands, bro. It goes beyond just South Florida or the Florida area or the Florida, Texas area, because that's where a lot of our fans are. It goes all the way to the West Coast and out California area, and then even overseas. There's a massive following of Miami Dolphins fan around the world, right? And I would beg to challenge that I bet that there's at least one Miami Dolphin fan in every city in the United States, or close to being around the world. It's ridiculous. I know even where my dad's from, being in the middle of the Middle East, they even know who the Miami Dolphins are, and I'm sure there's some fans. So anyway, shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. Still waiting on Color. Let me see if I got an update. He was running a little bit behind, he said. All right, so we're still waiting on him. I was gonna do coffee, but I'm gonna try to hold off until he shows up. So let's go on to the first subject here, which, like I said, hit like and subscribe, and we are gonna go with cause for cleats. So today's cause for cleats. So I've kind of gone down the entire list of the Miami Dolphins cause for cleats that's being advertised by the NFL, right? And that's going to update this year because I'm going based off of the information that they put out for last year. The newest version hasn't updated yet. I have made sure though that with the ones that we brought up, that the player is specifically still affiliated with that cause. So the next one, I'm gonna start touching maybe some former Miami Dolphins, and this is former Miami Dolphins running quarterback Ryan Tannehill, and that's his cause. Just so you're aware, is Equal Justice Initiative, also known as EJI. The Equal Justice Initiative is committed to ending massive incarceration and excessive punishment in the United States, to challenging racial and economic injustice, and to protecting basic human rights for the most vulnerable people in American society. Founded in 1989 by Brian Stevenson, a widely acclaimed public interest lawyer and best-selling author of Just Mercy, EGI is a private 501c3 nonprofit organization that provides legal representation to people who have been illegally convicted, unfairly sentenced, or abused in state jails and prisons. We challenge the death penalty and excessive punishment, and we provide re-entry assistance to formerly incarcerated people. EGI works with communities that have been marginalized by poverty and discouraged by unequal treatment. They are committed to changing the narrative about race in America. EGI provides groundbreaking reports, an award-winning calendar, and short films that explore our nation's history of racial injustice. And in 2018, they opened the Legacy Museum for the Enslavement to Mass Incarceration and the National Memorial for Peace and Justice as part of their national effort to create new spaces, markers, and memorials that address the legacy of slavery, lynching, and racial segregation, which shapes many issues today. EGI provides research and recommendations to assist advocates and policymakers in critically important work of criminal and justice reform. We publish reports, discussion guides, and other educational materials, and our staff conduct educational tours, presentations for thousands of students, teachers, faith leaders, professional associations, community groups, and international visitors every year. So if you want more information about EJI, go check out EJI.org. Again, we're not affiliated with any of these causes or organizations or anything that we bring up here on Top of the Tailgate or on the Fins Tailgate. We're just bringing people aware of the player's cause, what the cause is about, and where you can get more information. So you can go to EJI.org, you can donate, find out more about their cause. I know some people that have actually suffered from some of the things that they talked about. So I got that known about this initiative for a while now. I just thought it'd be good information to pass along. You never know who may need information or who wants to get involved. So that's what we're doing with the Cause for Cleats. So shout out to EJI.org. Shout out to Ryan Tannehill, former Miami Dolphin quarterback, for his cause that he supports. Let's keep it moving. All right. Let me see if I can find out where Color's at. Maybe we can get him on the phone and get a chopper report. It's currently, just so you're aware, in Miami, it's currently 83 degrees. Today's high of 90, low of 78. Feels like 90 degrees currently, it says. Humidity's at 76%. Yesterday in Port St. Lucie, we had a heat advisory. It was high of 94, I want to say, and it was like felt like 100. It was ridiculous. It was so freaking hot. So please stay cool, people. Make sure you drink lots of water. There is a chance, pretty higher chance of rain later this afternoon. It's about 58%, it says. So that hopefully will keep it cool in the South Florida area. All right. Let me just find out. Waiting on Color here. Okay, let's keep it going. All right, so time for some football. Let's talk about some football now. And I'm going to put you guys off to the side here. And we are going to bring up some stuff. So there was some news that came out a few days ago. Cam Smith, that's right, rookie cornerback Cam Smith has finally signed his contract. Miami Dolphins have signed cornerback Cam Smith to the last of the team's 4 draftees to his rookie deal. Smith, a former South Carolina standout, Miami selected with the 51st overall pick in 2023. The NFL draft was slotted to receive a 4-year deal worth a little more than $7 million. Based on rookie slots for draftees, Smith is supposed to receive signing bonus of $2.1 million. And will hold a year 1 cap charge of $1.27 million. Just to give you a heads up. His signing leaves the Dolphins $13.6 million in cap space to use for a potential signing of free agents like tailback Dalvin Cook and defensive lineman Akeem Hicks, 2 players who could potentially fill roster voids before the training camps start later this month. And for signing impending free agents like defensive lineman Christian Wilkins, Raekwon Davis, Zach Seiler, and offensive lineman Robert Hunt and Connor Williams to contract extensions. How did Cam Smith perform in camp? As for Smith, he's coming off a solid offseason showing, one where the rookie handled himself well against Miami's 2nd and 3rd team receivers. Pro Bowl receiver Tyreek Hill sat out all of the offseason practices Smith participated in, and Jalen Waddle, who worked sporadically with all the quarterbacks that's good news actually, during OTA and minicamp practice, was rarely lined up against the rookie. Still, in the practices the media attended, Smith was rarely spotted blowing a coverage and or getting beat for a big reception. He also had a handful of deflected passes. That's awesome. He's doing very well, but guess what? He's a rookie. We can sit here and we can look around the league since football's been in inception. Rookies are going to have their ups and downs, but he's learning and he's a fast learner. Quarterback coach Sam Madison said about Smith, who tallied 91 tackles, 6 interceptions, and 18 pass breakups in 32 games he played for the Gamecocks. Now this goes on, and just so you know, this article is brought to you by Sports Illustrated. It was written by Omar Kelly, just so you know. Let's see. He also says, who is Smith's competition? Smith will likely compete with Noah. Noah is him. That according to Shake. Keon Crossan, Justin Bethel, and Bryce Thompson, and maybe Trill Williams, who is possibly going to move to safety to become one of the main primary backups on the boundary, spelling Xavier Howard and Jalen Ramsey in games. If he masters those outside spots, it's possible that Miami could test him out at nickel cornerback, but that type of experimentation isn't necessarily, necessary at the moment because of Nick Needham's return from Achilles injury he suffered last October, and the emergence of Kader Kahu, an undrafted rookie who played well in the 13 starts he made last season, cleaning up his technique with a major point of emphasis for Smith during training camp, which usually features no tackling and minimal pads for the first 2 weeks. I try to stronghold people a lot and assert my dominance on people. Sometimes that gets me into trouble, Smith said, addressing on his struggles. Just playing controlled, playing within myself, and not really trying to do too much and try to make a play. So that's really interesting. Some takeaways: Jalen Waddle has worked out with all quarterbacks that we have. That's kind of interesting and good to hear. I like to see that. There was the narrative that they didn't get our backup quarterbacks did not get enough time with with the receivers and the starting receivers and whatnot. So already right off the get go, they're working out with them. That's pretty dope. I also like to see that our new corner is actually inserting himself in a way that is more of the positive matter. You don't see the blown coverages or him getting burned on the side or getting lost in coverage. It sounds like he's been doing pretty well in what they expect at someone that was drafted in the second round. He's looking like he's on the right path for development. So awesome! Shout out to Cam Smith. Congratulations on your NFL contract. Can't wait to see what you do on the field. Speaking of what they do on the field in training camp, if you didn't know, the training camp tickets are available by the Miami Dolphins. You go to their website and claim your tickets. They are free. It's limited, so I don't know what's available, if anything is available at this point. But you can go to MiamiDolphins.com and claim your free tickets to training camp. I know I got mine, so I might be giving some away. I have to see which ones I'm not going to specifically, but I might be giving some tickets away. I'll stay posted on that. I'll have to discuss it with Color and figure out what we have left. Let's keep going here. Some of this content I wanted to talk about, I wanted Color here so we can debate it. But let's talk about this one. I know Color doesn't like talking about this, but we'll talk about this. This came out on July 5th. So, and this is by Omar Kelly as well. Is Dalvin Cook worth asking price from the Miami Dolphins? Basically, is he worth his asking price? So if you take a look at what the NFL's highest paid backs are earned this season and compared to what Dalvin Cook is reportedly seeking from his next team, it's been reported that Dalvin Cook and his team are seeking a new deal that will pay the talented 27-year-old tailback north of $7 million a season. This is what's been reported. It's doubtful that any team has put that type of offer on the table. Otherwise, South Florida native would have likely been signed and wouldn't be playing the waiting game. But how much sense does $7 to $8 million a year salary make for his suitors, which are reportedly the Miami Dolphins, the New York Jets, New England Patriots, and the Denver Broncos, when factoring in the current tailback landscape? It's something that Omar wanted to dig into, he says. This week, after hearing the NFL Network's Tom Pelissero mention a $7 to $8 million asking price for Cook, who is one of the 5 highest paid tailbacks in the NFL before the Minnesota Vikings released him last month as a cost-to-cutting mechanism. Top five back all clear $10 million. San Francisco's Christian McCaffrey from the 49ers traded for at midseason last year and rode all the way to the NFC Championship game, will have the highest take-home salary in 2023 for all running tailbacks. McCaffrey will make $12 million this season after restructuring his contract to help the 49ers create space this offseason. McCaffrey pushed 10.7 10.72 million to a roster bonus, and will make 1.1 million 80,000 as a salary this season. Ugh, base salary. Can't even talk. For comparison's sake, he'll also be slated to make 12 million a year in 2024 and 2025, but all of those are option years, which means none of it's guaranteed. But the 49ers would have to release him to avoid paying that 12 million a season price tag. The New Orleans Alvin Kamara will be second highest paid in the NFL this season, earning 11 million. And that after doing a similar restructured deal to help the Saints create cap space, Kamara is slotted to make 11.8 million next season, and his release creates an identical amount of cap space for the Saints, which are projected to be 61 million over the projected cap salary in 2024. Let me just mention something about the Saints real quick. We have discussed this on the show that the cap is almost not irrelevant, or it doesn't matter, or it's not real. And it's teams like the Saints that I want to say that make that narrative go, or it not gaslights that narrative, because I believe it was not this past offseason, but the offseason prior, they were negative $70 million in cap space, right? Negative $70 million in cap space. And somehow they were able to restructure everybody, re-sign the free agents that they had. They were, coming off contracts on their own team, in addition to signing some free agents that were in that offseason. So coming back from negative 70 million, anything is possible now. That's why I say the cap almost doesn't matter to a point. You know what I mean? Whatever negative number you have. So let's keep it moving, though. Tennessee's Derrick Henry could make 11 million this offseason, 11 million this season if he reached all his incentives, but 10.5 million of his base salary, and this will likely be his final season with the Titans, which reportedly shopped him all season. That's true. I mean, that's kind of they shopped you all season. I just don't see you re-signing. I think it's the last days with the Titans, to be honest. This is the last year for Henry's deal with the Titans because the remaining 2 seasons are voidable. Cleveland's Nick Chubb will earn 10.85 million in 2023, and the Green Bay will potentially pay Aaron Jones 10.06 million after he reworked his initial 4-year, 48 million deal to shorten it into a 2-year deal that is potentially worth $23 million. Backs with franchise tags that remain unsigned. Then we got the 3 tailbacks, Saquon Barkley, Tony Pollard, and Josh Jacobs, who have been slapped with franchise tags, which is worth 10.1 million. We can pretend all we want that Barkley, Pollard, and Jacobs won't show up for work, but all the odds of them pulling a Le'Veon Bell sitting out the entire season because they are unwilling to play on a franchise tag is slim. Omar goes on to say, with this new CBA, the players have very no leverage when it comes to contract disputes. So expect Giants, Cowboys, and Raiders to have their star backs signed by the time the regular season arrives, if they don't get a multi-year deal done sooner. Now we get into the under 10 million club, which is headed by Cincinnati's Joe Mixon, who has the potential to make 8.7 million a year if he plays every game next season, fulfilling his per game roster bonus. Year 1 cap hit can be manageable. We finally reached the salary neighborhood Cook is trying to reside in, at least for this season. If I were an interested team, I'd be tempted to use the new 4-year, $25.4 million deal Miles Sanders got from Carolina Panthers as a free agent this offseason after rushing 1,269 yards and scoring 11 touchdowns for Philadelphia Eagles last season as a benchmark for Cook. Sanders, who makes $6.98 million this season, had $13 million of that contract guaranteed and receives a $5.9 million signing bonus. His cap number is $2.5 million this season, and it escalates to $7.7 million next season, which is when the guaranteed portion of the contract concludes. If Miami offered Cook an identical deal to Sanders, he'd be locked up for 2 seasons at a relatively affordable rate, and one that wouldn't drastically deplete this year's cap space, which would allow Miami to re-sign an impending free agent or two with the team's remaining cap space. A more realistic deal to use Blueprint, which would be the 3-year, $21 million deal James Conner got from the Arizona Cardinals last offseason. Conner will earn $6.4 million this season, and based on the details of that contract, which guaranteed the former Steeler starter $13.5 million and paid him a $6 million signing bonus this year, one cap hit, which was shy of $4 million. 3-year, $21 million. I want you guys to remember that. That is the number I have mentioned here and in the spaces. I think Cook is worth around that. 3 years, $7 million. I'm okay to pay him. I don't want to pay him north of $8 million, but I think this is totally fair deal here. My opinion. Los Angeles Chargers tailback Austin Eckler and David Montgomery, who signed a free agent deal with Detroit Lions, are tied for the NFL's 12th highest paid tailbacks, taking home $6.25 million for 2023 season. Eckler is in the final year of his 4-year, $24.5 million deal, which he signed in 2020 as a restricted free agent, and expressed his desire to get a new deal done or be traded this offseason. Montgomery received a 3-year deal worth $18 million from the Lions, which guaranteed him $8.75 million. He also received $4.5 million signing bonus and his year 1 cap hit of $2.84 million. Montgomery's 2-year cap hit jumps to $6.87 million, and he's likely won't see the final season of the contract unless he outperforms it and becomes team friendly. That's a total of 12 tailbacks who take home $6 million or more this season. It is clear Cook, who has rushed for more than 1,100 yards for 4 straight seasons, feels he's still a top 10 tailback and wants to be compensated like one. It'll be interesting to see if and when these teams meet his asking price and which organization it will be, according to Omar. So, the question at hand to you guys, do you feel that Dalvin Cook is worth north of $7 million per season? Or do you think, like what I said, 3 years, $21 million is fair? Put it in the chat. I want to know what you guys think. What would it take you, if you're the GM, what is your number per season for Dalvin Cook? I want you guys to put that in the chat. And if you're just joining us, shout out to you. I see a lot of people up in here. I see Joe Levesque in here. Carla, how's it going? Canes Dolphins, how's it going? Mr. Paulk, how you doing, man? Crazy Dolphin, I appreciate you. Adam Sadowski. Let's see if I missed anybody. G, what's up, man? Daniel Berry Sports, how's it going, bud? I see you in here. Lewis is asking if I want to talk about Smythe. Bro, I don't want to talk about Smythe, man. You made me tired of having to cook you over and over. At this point, you're burnt toast, Lewis. I'm sorry. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Lewis. I understand where you're coming from with about Durham Smythe. I get it. I get what you're saying. All I'm saying is the man ain't trash. That's what I want to say in regards to that narrative. Carlos says Dalvin Cook is worth $9 million. Lewis just woke up from any slumber that he was in, if he was in any, and he's probably like, what the hell, Carla? $9 million, I think, is way too much. The running back market, even though we saw all these players making 10 million, less than 10 million, it's anywhere from there between that and 6.5 million. The running back market is depleted. The money just isn't there. You have teams winning Super Bowls with nobody in the top 10 as a running back. I still want to be fair to the guy because he's still a very highly productive running back, but I'm not breaking the bank. And here's the other thing. There's been some rumors going around if that the Jets have offered a better deal to Dalvin Cook. If that is true, then why has he not signed? Why? Because I truly do believe he wants to come to Miami, but he wants to come to Miami at the right price, and he's not in any rush to sign, and that's the reality of it. He's not in any rush. He doesn't have to rush, so he can sit here and play the waiting game to see if we'll bend or break or whatever. But I just don't think, if I'm Chris Greer, no, stay pat where you are. Don't offer him more than $7 million a year. Just my opinion. But it's very interesting. $9 million. Even paying Cook would not guarantee a Super Bowl. I just want you to point that out. I want to point that out real quick. Ooh, Carla says we will be trading X and Wilkins in 2024. Wilkins, it would be what would it be? A sign-in trade? We're going to sign him to a franchise tag and trade him? Maybe. Or maybe we extend him not till then. X, I could see that. That one, we already have his... I've said that I think Cam Smith is going to groom to be his replacement, but we'll see. Michael K says we can't trade Wilkins. That ship has sailed. It hasn't sailed fully yet. Oh, finally, I got somebody. What up, my man Lewis? Welcome to the show.
What's going on, Ollie? Thanks for having me up.
Not much. I'm messing with you about cooking you, bro. I'm just messing around. So. No, I get what you're saying about Durham Smythe. He's not your superstar, overproductive player. I get it. I just, as me and EM tried to explain to you, he does his job. He does his job enough where we don't have to worry about, who we're going to get to replace him. He does exactly what we've asked. It's just not sexy to the fan base. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's not your Tyreek Hill. It's not your Jalen Waddle. But here's the one thing I tried to mention. I don't know if you heard me or not. What? We actually haven't seen Durham Smythe in the same role that Gesicki had, but that doesn't mean that he can't do what Gesicki did. We just haven't seen it. We haven't seen those routes ran yet by him. I think in training camp, I kind of want to see what that looks like if they would just try it once just to see what would happen. You never know.
I agree with you. I think the past 2 days when I've been bringing this up, Ollie, I think it was getting redundant with the Christian Wilkins every day or Dalvin Cook and now Tyreek Hill situation. I'm just trying to talk about other things, and I thought it was a good conversation. And I think when we're going back and forth, I don't take it personal when you say you're cooking me, or I hope you don't take it personal if I say I'm cooking you. But, I mean, I get what everybody's saying. I just think to be where we want to be from a run game perspective, right? And I think, I don't, because we're not built like the 49ers, but I think we do want to have a run game. I just think that we would have to have an upgrade. Not that Durham Smythe can't get the job done this season, but I would like Miami to, if we're going to be a West Coast team and kind of take on the identity of the 49ers, go find me a Kittle. You know what I'm saying? Go find me a guy like that I know is secure at that position. But in the end of the day, I do think Durham Smythe can get the job done. I've just been, kind of trolling a little bit and having fun with a couple people. But listen, it is what it is. This is what the offseason is going to bring, man. There's not a lot going on, so might as well create storylines,
Oh, yeah, but here's the reality of it, though. If we didn't have these discussions, you know what I mean? We wouldn't be able to open our mind to seeing other avenues or other issues with our team. We would have nothing to talk about. You know what I mean?
100%.
So, and I appreciate you doing that, and that's fine. I do agree with you. He's not the superstar sexy that everybody loves, but he definitely, I do believe he's solid enough that he just does his job. You know what I mean? And that's what I ask of him. But I do think we do need a Kittle here, and we need to find that person. I'm kind of putting my neck out here by saying this, but something tells me that Eric Staubach or however you say his name, the guy from Denver, something tells me that he might be something special this season. And he had a lot of during his draft process, a lot of teams were really high on him because of its athleticism, right? And he's never really got a fair shake in Denver, and I want to see what he does here. So I'm giving like a clean slate to see what he does.
Is
But
he fairly young, Ali? Well, like when was he drafted?
let me pull that up real quick. There you
I'm
go.
sorry.
Eric Stauber. Go ahead.
I was just wondering, but I'm sorry. I didn't want you to go look it up. I wasn't trying to cut you off. I just.
Oh, no, you're perfectly fine. I actually have it coming up right here. Well, he's kind of older. He's 29 years of age.
Okay.
He's 6'5", so he's bigger. I want to say this guy's bigger than Durham Smythe.
Right.
Trying to see what information he is. But I mean, he was very athletic. Like I've seen some video, some video highlights of him catching the ball, and it looks like he looks quicker than what you would expect for being a pure blocking tight end. You know what I mean?
Right.
He looks smooth in catching the ball and his motion. I don't know if this would be like I'm not trying to say he's going to be like a superstar sexy, but I think he might be one of those sleeper guys that he does surprisingly well than what we're expecting. You know what I mean? More than what we're expecting, basically.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, but we'll see. I do understand EM's point, like how we're continually gonna take chances on those 6th and 5th round guys that are the converted wide receivers to tight ends. I get that. You know what I mean? You never know what you're gonna get out of those. It's kind of a crapshoot, to be honest. So we'll see. We'll see. Maybe Elijah Higgins blows everything up, and we don't got nothing to worry about. Maybe that happens. Who knows?
I mean, yeah. Listen, a lot of people when we drafted Elijah Higgins made the comp for like a Charles Clay, like his size and his speed and stuff. I mean, I would love a Charles Clay on this football team. So I mean, hopefully that kid does pan out. And again, I know I troll a lot, but we'll see what Tanner Connor looks like. I mean, if you look at some of the photos that have like leaked out of him, I mean, he is put together. I mean, he has great size, very athletic. So, I just want one of these guys to pan out, because where the argument kind of loses for me is when we talk about Gesicki, right? And everybody tells me, well, we don't want a pass catching tight end on this team. We want more of an inline blocker and stuff. And again, I know out of everybody in that room, Gesicki was the worst at blocking. But if people are going to, tell me that we're looking for an inline blocker, I just don't see one that we have in this room now. So hopefully, Durham Smythe pans out, or Tanner Connor takes a step, or Higgins, or whoever, Sarbert, whoever. But, if that's what our focus was, going to get an inline blocker, for me, I don't think we have one on this roster yet.
That's true. We don't. I can kind of see where you're coming from regarding that. It's kind of. Go ahead.
Oh no! I was just saying. For me, that's I just want people to be consistent. If that's what we want or we needed, I just feel again like we don't have it. But it is what it is.
Yeah. So there's been all this Dalvin Cook talk and everything, and I mentioned that I read a whole article about the cost it would take for him. I'm saying that he's worth about $7 million a season, no more than that, in my opinion. So 3 years, $21 million. Do you think that's fair for you, or do you think that's too much? What do you think?
If I hear 3 years, 21, I'm assuming it's a 2-year deal with the 3rd year being an option. I think
yeah,
I would
so
be
14 million guaranteed. Let's just go with that.
Yeah, I mean, do I want to pay a running back $7 million? I don't know if I want to do that, but I mean, am I going to complain for 2 years, $14 million? I would say no, Ali. I just what I don't want the Dolphins to do is bet against themselves, like outbid themselves, right? Like I think you hit the nail on the head. We all know Dalvin don't want to be a Jet. So, if they offer him and he ends up leaving, okay, so be it. I just don't want Miami to fall into the trap to where, oh my God, the Jets are offering 9, we got to give them 10, just to get him here. Because I just feel like, we're bidding against ourselves. If he really wants to be a Dolphin, and he really sees this roster like everybody tells us, right? Oh, he wants to play with Tua. He wants to be a Dolphin. He loves home. Well, then you have to come home and if you want to be part of something special, and if you believe in this team, give us a little hometown discount. Don't make us break the bank for you, because then we're going to lose out on other pieces like a Robert Hunt, like a Christian Wilkins, like Connor Williams. You see what I'm saying? It's bro, you know there's a guy, Ali, and I heard this yesterday in the Twitter space, and we never bring this guy up as another guy that we have to sign. Brandon Jones.
Yeah.
The second, and we always bring up all these guys, and we never bring up Brandon Jones. Bro, this is his last year. And every year Brandon Jones has been on the team. He's gotten better. Even last year before he got hurt, we had coverage concerns with him. I thought he was playing better in that aspect. Like, what do we do with Brandon Jones? It's like, I know everybody keeps telling me this is good problems to have, and I agree. But we do have to sign some of our homegrown talent. Right. And if we give Dalvin 8, 9, 10 million, that's cutting into other players. And I just, for me, and you've heard the arguments the past couple of days on Twitter, Ali, like, I don't think the running back room is that bad as currently constructed. Dalvin Cook is definitely an upgrade. He would be the best running back if we ended up getting him. And I think we all want him. But is it safe for me to say, Ali, that if we didn't land Dalvin Cook, the running back room would be fine, in your opinion? Like, could this running back room currently constructed with A-Chain, Mostert, Jeff Wilson, and the likes, don't you think we could win with that as well?
Yeah, it's definitely formidable, bro. I mean, it's not like they're trash or anything. They actually are pretty decent. They fit the narrative and what we're trying to do here. Yeah, I do agree with you. It is pretty good. Just having a guy like Dalvin Cook just makes it's just putting the cherry on top. It's that much sweeter. You know what I mean? So I do agree with that. We do have to pay Brandon Jones. You're absolutely right. And it's actually funny you brought up defense, because the next article we're going to talk about, Lewis. So Omar Kelly, who's been on a rampage of articles lately, he put out an article that Vic Fangio has stated that there's some missing pieces in the defense. So maybe we should halt this wanting to pay Dalvin Cook and listen to that article first, because there's some people we have to pay around here. You mentioned one of them, Brandon Jones, but there's some other positions that we're really lacking. We need a guy really bad. So do you have time to go over that article before I start reading that one?
I'll be here for a couple more minutes. I might have to go back inside, but yeah, I'm here with you right now. We're good.
All right. So Omar Kelly goes on. Let's see what's missing from Vic Fangio's Dolphins defense. The new Dolphins defensive coordinator Vic Fangio has expressed some concern about the talent on the defense he's taking over. The expectations are sky high for Vic Fangio. The Miami Dolphins won the competitive bidding war, making the former Denver Bronco head coach and seasoned defensive guru the highest paid defensive coordinator in the NFL. And the expectation is that he'll deliver immediate returns. The defense does two things. It creates turnovers and it stops explosives. And said safety coach Joe Casper, who left the Philadelphia Eagles to join Miami's staff this offseason. And the number one way to win games in the NFL is to create turnovers or protect the ball and stop explosives. The scheme, similar to the one we ran in Philadelphia, gives us the best chance to do those two things. That's really promising for me, because I knew turnovers were going to be big and stop the explosive play. Problem is to transform the leftovers of Brian Flores' hybrid defense into a top 10, possibly top 5 unit in 2023. Fangio hinting that he needs more pieces. We really have some really good talent at some places, Fangio said at the conclusion of Miami's minicamp, likely referring to the Dolphins' defensive front, pass rushers, and cornerbacks. Oh. Sorry about that. In other places, we've got to find talent. I think it's a good mix right now. Our good players have got to play really good for us to be good, and we've got to find the other guys. to fill in that play good in spite of their lack of playing time and experience. Roster depth seems to be what Fangio is hinting at. He possibly wondering how good the Dolphins defense will be if a starter or two players like Raekwon Davis, David Long Jr., and maybe Javon Holland are sidelined because of an injury for extended stretch in 2023. The Dolphins faced similar stretches last season when defensive end Emmanuel Ogbah was shelved for nearly half the season because of his bicep injury, and was starting strong safety Brandon Jones and nickel cornerback Nick Needham were sidelined because of knee and Achilles injuries they suffered in October. Other defenders missed games and starts as well, and it watered down Miami's defense, which finished 2022 ranked 18th in total yards allowed and 24th in points allowed. Those struggles cost Josh Boyer his job and opened the door for McDaniel to fire No, I think he meant to hire Fangio. There's a mistype, Omar. You might want to get that. Whom he lobbied unsuccessfully to hire when he was named Miami's head coach. Now McDaniel's entrusting Fangio to work his magic, but required talent. Defensive free agents who could help the Dolphins. What Fangio is likely asking the team's front office to address is the areas of weakness on defense, which, based on the media saw during OTA and minicamp practices, appear to be nose tackle, inside linebacker, and safety. Is safety really a weakness, Lewis? That's kind of strange since we have Javon Holland here. We also brought in Deshaun Elliott, I believe his name is.
Yep.
I would think, but at this point, that would be more on the positive side, But it is what it is. Maybe they mean they need more safeties. Maybe that's what it is. Let's keep it going though. There is an established nose tackle behind Davis, so if he's sidelined by an injury, Miami could be forced to switch defensive fronts from going from a 3-4 to a 4-3, unless Brandon Pilley steps up, or the Dolphins could sign someone like free agent Akeem Hicks, who has the history with Fangio. Listen, if the Miami Dolphins are serious about winning a Super Bowl this season, they will make a move for Akeem Hicks. Teams that do stuff like that usually get the job done. You look at the Philadelphia Eagles, who signed Sue and several other depth pieces to their roster that was already loaded at the time during the last year's offseason. Look what happened. They went to the Super Bowl, right? That's what teams that are trying to go to the Super Bowl do. They fill the needs that they actually have. Christian Wilkins and Zach Seiler aren't built to take on two blockers consistently, which is the primary job of a nose tackle in traditional 3-4 scheme. So adding veterans like Hicks, a 33-year-old who started 121 games and produced 41.5 sacks, could be beneficial. Long has a history of battling soft tissue injuries in the NFL, which is one of the reasons Tennessee moved on from him during free agency this offseason. If Long, who missed the majority of the offseason program nursing an undisclosed injury, or fellow starting inside linebacker Jerome Baker became sidelined, Duke Riley and Channing Tindall would likely have their roles elevated. Are they ready to have their responsibility put on their backs, or would it be beneficial for the Dolphins to add veteran linebackers like Jalen Smith, who's a free agent, Quan Alexander, Anthony Barr, or Rashad Evans? Out of those linebackers, Lewis, who would you get? I know Color said he likes Quan Alexander. How do you feel about that?
I'm with Color. Quan Alexander would definitely be a guy I would look into. I know last year we heard rumblings coming out of Minnesota about Anthony Barr. I would even take a look at Anthony Barr as well. Okay. I really think Miami should look at Akeem Hicks. And this is why I love these kind of conversations. Because if Vic Fangio is getting paid, I believe he's even making more than our head coach, Mike McDaniel. That means he has pull or say in this organization, if that rumor is true, right? So I'll ask everybody, including you, Ali, what's more of a pressing need? Do we need Dalvin Cook, or should we listen to, a guy that we were clamoring to bring in Vic Fangio? If he's saying that this defense, in his opinion, might need more help, go get him what he needs. Because again, I think we've seen Mike McDaniel, even with these running backs, he can get the job done. But I'm with Fangio. Listen, if Fangio wants Akeem Hicks and Akeem Hicks is going to cost us Dalvin Cook, go get Akeem Hicks. If Fangio wants more linebacker depth and he wants a Quan Alexander or Anthony Barr and it's going to cost us Dalvin Cook, then go get Fangio what he needs. Because I think offensively we're set. I want like the beginning of your spot on. You win championships with defense. We all know it. I mean, look at Kansas City. Their offense kind of, again, they put up 30 points. I get it. But if you look at the play that won that game, the Super Bowl, it was a scoop and score touchdown by their defense that took them over the top. Right? That was the difference of the game. So I'm with this article by Omar Kelly, and I'm with Vic Fangio. If he's telling the organization he needs more players, whether they're depth or not, go get him what he needs.
Yeah.
And that's just where I'm at with it.
And if you want to know what we have in defensive tackles specifically, we only have 3 on the roster: Wilkins, Seiler, and Raekwon Davis. That's it. And those are the three that I could say are definitely gonna make this roster. There might be some guys that were undrafted free agents, but there's no guarantee they make this roster. You know what I mean? So that's why it's kind of a position of need. So, but definitely, I'm with you, man. Quan Alexander's a guy I like. Anthony Barr isn't bad either. So he goes on to talk about while Holland has been relatively healthy the past 2 seasons, he's been the lone exception in the safety unit. Brandon Jones and Trill Williams are both coming off from season-ending knee injuries. Their returns could bolster their unit, which also added Deshaun Elliott as a free agent. But Fangio had to leave June's minicamp asking himself if there's a starter on the roster who would complement Holland, whom he clearly is a fan of. So Fangio likes Holland. Who does he like as a starter with Holland? Can the same be said about... He goes on to say he's a highly talented player, highly instinctive player, highly smart player, tough player, loves the game, Fangio said of Holland, who contributed 96 tackles, 2 interceptions, and 1.5 sacks last season. There's nothing I don't like about him. Can the same be said about Elliott, who started 35 games in the previous 4 seasons, Jones, who has struggled in coverage during his 3 seasons as a spot starter, Williams, who's making the cornerback to safety conversion, Elijah Campbell, a special teams standout, who has also moved from cornerback to safety, or Verone McKinley, who started 2 of the 10 games he played in last season after being called up from the practice squad. Only time and snaps will provide those answers. From the Fangio seat, it seems as if he'd be more comfortable if the Dolphins brought in reinforcements, which could help him deliver what Miami's expectation is, which is an upper echelon defense. I agree 100%. I think we need to bring in players, Lewis. I think we need to bring in someone to fill the need, specifically at defensive tackle. That position alone is my most worrisome here. We need a big time nose tackle like an Akeem Hicks. I think that would be a perfect pickup, or someone that is along that size or that style. And then in the linebacker position, yeah, I think if you add a guy in both of those positions, I think right there, you already, our defense will be that much better. Even if we don't address the safety position and we just stay pat, I kind of think if you at least address the other 2, it makes the job for the safeties that much easier. What do you think?
Yeah, I completely agree. I think, Akeem Hicks should be priority number 1 and linebacker. And then I don't know how I feel about the safety because we got Holland, Brandon Jones coming back, Deshaun Elliott we added. And what about a guy like Verone McKinley? He's still out there. So is Fangio seeing something maybe with Verone McKinley that he doesn't like? Or, I mean, I just don't know why we would be bringing in another safety. For me, I think we're good at that position. I think it would be linebacker and D tackle for sure. But I don't know how I feel about bringing in another safety.
See, part of it I kind of think is because there's a there's two sides of the scale on Brandon Jones, right? I think he's definitely should be a starter. I think the guy has the versatility to play all over the secondary, right? But there's a big portion of the fan base that also feels that he's not good. He gets lost in coverage, or he doesn't make the tackle properly, but then he shows flashes where he is really good. So I think it goes one half dozen the other. But I definitely see where Lewis is coming from. Shout out to Lewis. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. Trying to find out what's going on with Color. He was supposed to join as well. And let me see if I got an update from him. Nope, no update from Color. That's fine. So hopefully he joins soon. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. We're past the 1 hour mark here on top of the tailgate. We also, just so you know, the current weather report as we speak, it's 82 degrees in Miami. Today's high of 90, low of 78. It says currently feels like 89 degrees with 77% humidity. Just so you're aware. Also, be safe on the road. Since 6 a.m. this morning, there's been several accidents already this morning. Be safe. Make sure you buckle up. And, just be safe getting to work or wherever you're headed. There's no rush. It'll be there when you get there. I promise. If you're just joining the chat. Oh. And ladies and gentlemen, he's here. Color, what's up, buddy?
Oh, good morning, Ollie. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. I just did the weather report. I wasn't sure if you're going to make it.
Yeah, I just kind of woke up in a little pain this morning. But I'll make it. I am here. What did I miss? How's everybody doing this morning?
Pretty good. I have not done color. I'm sorry, not color. I haven't done coffee of the week yet because I was waiting for you. Just so you know. I talked with Lewis a bit about Dalvin Cook, a little bit of Durham Smythe, as well as an article that Omar Kelly wrote about Fangio believing that there are holes in this defense that the Miami Dolphins need to address still. By bringing in reinforcements, and we just discussed that. Specifically at the defensive tackle, like bringing in a true nose tackle, such as an Akeem Hicks. We do have a need for inside linebacker as well as safety. Those are the three positions of need, according to Omar Kelly's article. So we talked about that. Any thoughts on that?
Sounds like a whole team.
Sounds like a whole team. No. He says that according to what Vic Fangio said, Fangio's in love with Holland, thinks he's pretty good. But the question is, who would be the starter next to Holland? They're trying to find someone that they feel that comfortable enough as being a complement to play alongside Holland as the other safety. So that's why there's a concern there. Brandon Jones, Brandon Jones, Trill Williams, and Nick Needham in the secondary have all had coming back from injuries. So you have all these people coming back, but they've been injured. You know what I mean? So that's why there's a question mark in the safety and secondary position. Linebacker, it's, well, if David Long goes down or Jerome Baker goes down, then you have guys like Duke Riley or Channing Tindall that would have to take the helm. And are they ready to have their roles elevated if that were the case? So that's why there's a question mark at linebacker. And we've been saying that we need nose tackle for a long time, Color. We only have 3 on the roster. We have 3 defensive tackles on the roster. One of them goes down. It's the biggest hole in your defense. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, so definitely. But shout out to everybody in the chat. Everybody's here. Joe, Carla's in here. Michael K, Kane's Dolphins, Raphael Chessin, I believe. I'm sorry if I didn't say that correctly. But shout out to you. G's here. Everybody's saying good morning to you, Color. Trucker Sean, everybody is here saying good morning to you, Color. So just so you know.
Oh, good morning. I appreciate everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I am whipping up the coffee as we speak.
Carla is asking, do you get doc paid for being late, Color?
Yeah, which is putting me in the negative now. So I actually owe Capitan money now.
I wonder if I get overtime for covering both rules. Just kidding.
I know, right?
We should go to El Cap and say that to him, see what he says. Oh man. Miami Mako Shark Molina. Ooh, that's an interesting name. What's up, man? Good morning to you.
Oh, that's Willie Molina. How's it going, Willie? Long time no see, man.
How you been? But yeah, man. So let's see what else we got. Do you have your coffee ready? We can do coffee of the week.
We can. It is finishing brewing as we speak.
So I will start with mine, just so you're aware. So mine, as I've been saying this week, I'm drinking Lavazza coffee. If you didn't know, Lavazza coffee is an Italian coffee. Happens to be what they claim to be Italy's best coffee. They also claim that over 40 million out of 60 million people, I believe it is, drink Lavazza coffee in Italy. Right? It's something ridiculous, some ridiculous number like that. And they have a lot of history behind them, Color. Some of it may sound familiar when I go over this with you. It's kind of interesting. They started out in 1895. Their story started in 1895 when Luigi Lavazza opened the first Lavazza store in San Tommaso in Turin, Italy. Just so you're aware. They also, went from owning a small shop to becoming a bigger business or a small business. The Lavazza company consisted of Luigi Lavazza, his wife Amelia, and their children Mario, and Pericle, and Giuseppe, also known as Beppe.
You got to be kidding me, bro.
Yeah, that's the name of their family. At the time, the company had a capital of 1.5 million lire. That's kind of interesting. I don't know what that equates to in dollars.
Lira is so the last time I was in Italy, when I was about like 19 years old, if you take our money and you replace the decimal point with a comma, that's the lira. So it would be like we would eat dinner would cost like 50 million lira.
So,
but it was like $50. You know what I mean?
Interesting. During the years, Lavazza implemented the pergamon, a packaging comprising of 2 layers of paper that retained all the flavors of the coffee beans. This was perfect packaging for families who wanted to buy larger quantities of coffee, and the first step toward the Lavazza packaging that we will see in stores today. So that in stores today, their packaging was designed in the 1920s, just so you're aware. It goes on that they survived the World War, and they had to rebirth from that because they've gone through both World Wars, World War I and World War II. And
that's Lavazza War.
Yeah, and they actually became Italy's largest coffee company in Italy, just so you're aware. After that, and I was trying to get to
they must have sold Lavazza coffee.
They did. In addition to that, they have grown to be a worldwide global company. They have headquarters all over the world now, as well as major stores that they have all over, including Southeast Asia, for example, just so you're aware. In addition to this, and this is where it sounds familiar, Color, in 2015, Lavazza celebrated its 120th anniversary. The Italian Espresso boarded its International Space Station. Together with the Italian Space Agency, ASI, Lavazza and Agrotech developed the ISS Espresso, the first coffee machine in space. This was a dream come true for the 2004 calendar created by Thierry Legues, who was depicted coffee in space. So basically, they did something similar to Death Wish. They developed a coffee to be served in space. How interesting.
Well, that's lots of miles away too.
Yeah, definitely. So the fact that they is that like an inspiration of all coffee companies to have coffee in outer space? I wonder if it tastes the same or if it floats the same. What do you think, Color?
I don't know, but
I'm trying to be funny about it. I'm sorry.
No,
but
didn't get Lavazza laughs, man.
No, it didn't. It's all good though. But check it out. Check out Lavazza's coffee. It's actually bold and rich. This is a medium Classico roast that they have. They have various different flavors, some interesting named flavors actually.
Did you say placebo roast? Is it like making you think you're drinking coffee? And
Color, I did not say placebo. I say Classico. Classic.
Oh, Classico. Okay.
Yeah, Classico. I wonder what's on your mind when you wake up in the morning. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
I don't know, but this Publix coffee that I'm drinking is pretty dang strong, man.
So you went with Publix. You didn't tell me that.
Yeah, I'm trying out Publix Premium because, I not that I really need to, but nothing was really on sale, so I figured I would review the coffee that people have to get when they're poor, the brand name Publix coffee. Because people tell me that it actually is not really that bad and, is fairly competitive with the others. So I gave it a try. So you don't have to. And, they're right. It's not bad for being a generic coffee. Publix is always known for decent products. Out of Lakeland, that's where they're headquartered, Lakeland, Florida. So I gave it a shot, and it is a good coffee. Like it competes with all the taste wise with all the brand names. But holy crap, is their medium roast strong, man, and it definitely is using a Western Hemisphere bean because it is quite oily. And quite, rich, if you would call it that. Bold, maybe.
Bold, I think, is what you're looking for. Yeah, definitely.
But man, so it's good coffee. It's not because it's generic coffee that I don't like it, but I don't really care for the taste personally. However, holy crap, did it just wake my ass up.
Well, you just heard him from him. What flavor of Publix was it again?
Just medium roast, regular medium roast.
Is it the Publix Premium or the standard Publix?
The premium.
Okay. So Publix Premium coffee, medium roast. Color says it'll wake your ass up because it's super strong. So that's pretty dope.
Yeah, the whole world's flooding into me right now. Like, yeah, it's waking me up for sure.
Awesome. That's awesome, Color. So rock and roll with that. So shout out to Color, and thank you for doing coffee of the week for me. With me, I should say.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yes.
I forgot. I don't know how I forgot because it's right in front of me. I'm drinking out of it.
What's going on?
So I got a nice little package in the mail yesterday, and Color is currently drinking coffee out of his brand new coffee mug since Tua broke my last two mugs. And we are gonna get a good look at it right now. Color's brand new coffee mug.
Pretty dope, man.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Oh, look at the other side. Dun, dun, dun.
So, Color, tell everyone where they can find that coffee mug if they want to get one for themselves.
You can find this awesome coffee mug, which is the bestest coffee mug I've ever drank out of. It actually makes the coffee taste better. And you can find that at TFTGnetwork.com. in the merch store.
That's right. You can also find my coffee mug for Late Night Exhale there as well. So definitely shout out to everyone that helped develop our website. But they got some really cool mugs. They got all different stuff. In fact, Lewis was up here, and you can get Lewis's apron, the one that he hands out to everybody. It does not include the body bag, but you can get his apron, I promise, on the merch store. Check it out. I'm getting one. I'm getting the black one. I'm thinking about even going as far as wearing it in the stadium color.
Oh, that's going to be awesome.
So,
I would in a heartbeat. But so, if you get your own color commentary coffee mug, you can literally have a cup of color properly.
I was thinking about this. I actually thought about this color, and thank you for sharing that. If I were to wear the apron and we signed Dalvin Cook, and I'm cooking folk when I walk in, they're gonna let it right through. They're not gonna think anything of it because they think we're referencing Cook. Isn't that kind of funny?
I know they might sue us.
Oh shit! I didn't think about that. Crap. All right, no, they can't. They can't sue us. Anyway,
but you know what? We need to get HB to modify it.
Why?
Because if we end up signing Dalvin Cook, you could make that statement like as a double meaning, right? Like make it Cook apostrophe N folk, like Cook and folk. Because you could either say I'm Cook and folk, or my team is Cook and folk. Like we're rolling into Buffalo with Cook and folk. That would be brilliant.
That would be kind of brilliant. That's something you got to talk to HB about, definitely. Shout out to Mr. Pog. Mr. Pog says, I don't drink coffee, but I can drink tea like it's no tomorrow. That's cool. I love tea as well. There was an episode where I was drinking Persian tea rather than coffee one morning. So definitely a shout out to you and the tea drinkers as well.
This cooking folk thing, apron, could be literally the best slogan ever created on the internet, dude.
Yep. And shout out to Lewis for that. So shout out to Lewis. Let's see what else we got on the docket here, color. So we also talked about Dolphins signing rookie cornerback Cam Smith earlier. So we already talked about that, just so you're aware. So let's keep the tradition alive. Let's see, we got 7-18 currently. Let's talk about the 75 best Dolphin games of the 2000s. We're talking about number 46 through 50, color. You ready for this?
By the way, traffic sucks.
Oh, traffic sucks? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a pretty safe bet.
So according to color...
Pretty safe bet traffic sucks this morning.
Definitely. There's
that
already
is your
been...
TFTG network traffic report.
Yeah, it definitely. There's a crap ton of accidents already in Miami since 6 a.m. this morning with injuries. So please be careful. Buckle up. No need to rush to get places, especially if it's not an emergency.
And if you're in Dade County, turn around and go the other way.
Yes, definitely. Make sure that you're, being safe. I'm looking to find out what the WTF weather app is going to tell me today.
See, it's going viral, man. They need to like hook me up for telling everybody about it.
Yeah. So the WTF app is saying, according to Port of St. Lucie's weather, the stupid fucking angry day ball is shining up in the sky again. Such a stupid angry ball.
So you must have the over 18 turned on it.
I think so. I think I do. Oops, sorry. I know it's a morning show. So,
well, in that case, let's see. For Palm Beach County, your weather report today is, let's see. I gotta wait for this other witty saying. It's really humid out. Let's stay inside, okay? Wait. Did I turn on my censorship or something? That's like kind of lame.
Mm-hmm.
It says profanity is on. Hold on, let me refresh that lame one. This stunk. What the heck kind of, man? Do you know what's cool about this weather?
What?
Fuck all.
That's true.
79 degrees currently with a high of 94 today. Humidity is 95%. Yeah, that sucks.
So, Mr. Polk is asking if they have Persian tea here in Florida. There are some Middle Eastern grocery stores that do sell it. There's a couple different brand names you can buy. The two brands that are most popular here in the United States, and also used throughout the Middle East, is Ahmad tea, spelled AHMADT, TEA, obviously. And then the other one is called Sadaf, which is SADAF. The flavor that I usually get Ahmad tea. You can buy it on Amazon or some of these other Middle Eastern or Oriental grocery stores that you may find. I know in West Palm there's a big one that I've told Color about, and it's right around the corner from his house or his place. So definitely you can get it. But the one the Ahmad tea that I use, I actually drink the cardamom tea flavor. There's also an Earl Grey type of flavor. It's kind of a mixture between English tea and Oriental tea. So that's the type of flavor it has, like a mix of both worlds, to be honest. So Mr. Puck was asking about tea here in Florida, so I wanted to answer the question. Sorry, Color. All right. So we've talked about, like I said, we talked about Cam Smith, we've talked about Dalvin Cook, we've talked about the needs of defense, that some needs that Vic Fangio has pointed out. One of the things, like I was telling Lewis, was linebacker, and I said that you stated to me that you thought Quan Alexander needs to be signed here as added depth. What do you think about that? You still feel that way?
Absolutely. I mean, I think the guy definitely would be a great depth piece for us. I think there's still a bunch left in the tank. I don't know why he hasn't, why he's still available, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it is surprising why it's still available. We'll see. I hope the Dolphins do the right thing and actually address their needs. Get the pieces you need for where the holes are at. I understand we want to upgrade the running back room, and that would be awesome, but is it a dying need? I wouldn't say so at this point. But the other positions, specifically defensive tackle and the inside linebacker position, to me is a dying need, to be honest. You have to address it. Joe Levesque says he used to live in PSL. I didn't know that. Awesome. Rock and roll that used to live here. Let's talk about small world. Now he moved up to Georgia, and he says it's really hot there, so he agreed. Georgia has a different type of heat, Color. I kid you not. They're where we have humidity, theirs is like a dry heat. I don't know if you've ever been in the summer in Georgia, but
I've been there when it's pretty dang muggy too, man. They get pretty wet there too, man. Like it feels like you're closed in by forestry everywhere. It's real. I don't know. I didn't care for being in Georgia too much, but that's just me.
I kid you not. I was in downtown Atlanta, near the college there, and I was watching a professional soccer game that was being played at their stadium, and I was in the heat, like I want to say, for about 2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours, and there was people falling over because it was so freaking hot. I literally got what you call, I guess it's called crotch rot or whatever, where you get the chafing and the dry heat like rash, just walking from my car to the stadium, bro. Just that.
Is that anything like root rot?
Root rot. I don't know what you want to call it. Let me just put it this way. I've never gotten something like that so quickly in my life, bro. And that happened in Atlanta, Georgia, on that one summer day. I'll never forget it, dude. It was hot as heck. Whereas here, you get more of that moisture in there, and it gets muggy, it gets hot, definitely. But I don't get it the same way like I got it up there. Just being honest. So let's keep it moving here. So we were going to be talking about the 75 best Dolphin games in the 2000s. We've been talking about this ongoing series for a while now. And just a reminder, there's going to be some losses that are listed here in this list by Alan Pupar. Now, just so you know why they're ranked in the top 75 specifically has to do with how in how the win or loss happened, what the significance of the game, something special or unique that happened during the game. That's how they basically evaluate the different games and where they rank. Okay. So number 50, 2006 versus New England, Dolphins 21, Patriots 0. The particular part of the countdown is going to be heavy with games under Nick Saban during his 2 seasons as Dolphin head coach. And this first one was a defensive masterpiece against Tom Brady. The numbers that stand out are Brady throwing only 90 yards on 14 of 28 passing, 5 overall sacks, 3 fumble recoveries. The Dolphins completed the shutout with a strip sack on New England's final 2 possessions, one against Brady and the other against Matt Castle. This game marked the only time between 2003 and 2021 that a Brady-led team was shut out. What do you think, Color?
I think if we saw Matt Castle that night, that must mean that Brady got benched.
Yeah. Well, he only had 90 yards, 14 of 28. So, were you at that game by chance, Color?
No.
No. Okay. All right. Would have been an interesting and fun game to go to be honest. 2005 versus Denver, Dolphins 34, Broncos 10. While things didn't pan out for the Dolphins with their hiring of Saban, there certainly was a lot of excitement and optimism as after his first game, the 24-point blowout of the Broncos at home. The Dolphins were in control pretty much for the whole way in the game, slamming the door with a 60-yard touchdown pass from Gus Frerotte to Marty Booker on the first play from scrimmage after Denver had cut Miami's lead to 20-10 midway through the fourth quarter. As a finishing touch, Jason Taylor returned to fumble 85 yards for a touchdown after he strip sacked Jake Plummer on the final play of the game. 85 yards. That was memorable. That's something I should have brought up last night on Shake Money's In the Blender. I forgot about that. Do you remember Jason Taylor running 85 yards for that touchdown?
Oh, yeah. And ending the game, yeah, that was quite common. Ending the game part, anyway.
Yeah, that was a hell of a game. That's one I forgot about. In 2001 at Indianapolis, and I think this is one of the last time that Indianapolis was in AFC East, and I could be wrong about that, but I believe it was 2001. Dolphins 27, Colts 24. In their first matchup after the thrilling playoff game, don't worry, it'll be in the countdown later. The Dolphins and the Colts played together, nail-biter that came down to the end. And again, as would be the case in 2002, previous countdown, the Miami's defense came through in the end. Down 3, Peyton Manning moved the Colts to Miami 40 and the midfield on their final 2 drives. But Indy punted on 4th and 4 from the Dolphins 40, and the final drive, Manning threw an incompletion on 4th and 21 after 2 false start penalties and a Jason Taylor sack had pushed them back to their 37. On offense, the Dolphins got 56-yard touchdown from Travis Minor, a 76-yard touchdown pass from Jay Fiedler to Chris Chambers, the game-winning 29-yard touchdown pass from Fiedler to Chambers with 7:44 left in the fourth quarter. Shout out to Jay Fiedler. He's the quarterback that I picked for my all-time starting lineup. I wanted to be different. I love Dan Marino, but he's too easy to pick in the lineup. That's why I went with Fiedler. Wanted to be different. So that was a good game too. I remember watching that one. I don't know if you did, Collar.
I do remember that one.
Yep.
That
And
was, I think that was the night where Chris Chambers scored a touchdown by flexing his ass cheek to touch the back of the end zone.
I don't remember exactly, but wouldn't surprise
Hey,
me.
one ass cheek equals 2 feet, bro.
That's right. That is definitely right. So the next one, number 46, 2005. And this is going to be interesting because we go up against these guys' first game of the season this season. 2005 at San Diego, Dolphins 23, Chargers 21. While the Dolphins didn't make the playoffs in Saban's first season, they did finish with 6 consecutive victories for a final 9-7 record, and none were more impressive than defeating San Diego team coming in on a 5-game win streak and with an 8-4 record. Chris Chambers had another big outing as part of his breakout 2005 season with 8 catches for 121 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Marty Booker added a 56-yard reception, but it was the defense that came up with the big play. While the Dolphins leading 20-14, and the Chargers with a 1st and 10 at their 36 with 2 minutes and 37 left. Yermai Bell sacked Drew Brees and forced a fumble that Kevin Carter recovered. So again, Dolphins defense finishing the game. And that's what I expect this season. I expect a lot of games where it might be tight, but I am going to rely on my defense to finish the game, Color. That's what, if you're bringing in a Vic Fangio and making him the highest paid defensive coordinator, that is the expectation for every game. The Dolphins defense will stand tall and finish the game when it's needed. You know what I mean? What do you think, Color? Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. And that's going to come by way of turnovers like it used to.
Mm-hmm.
We just talked about it a minute ago. Jason Taylor, big fumble recovery for a touchdown to end the game.
Mm-hmm. I definitely agree. NFL Lit, the resident Chargers fan, is saying that Chris Chambers was a good player that they got from y'all, is what he says. I actually agree with you. Chris Chambers was a great receiver, and shout out to him. And it was sad to see him leave, but I think he definitely showed his shine here. What do you think, Color? You agree, Chris Chambers?
Oh yeah. Speaking of, he was. Oh no, it wasn't him. That was yeah. I mean, he's one of my favorites of receivers that have walked through the building. One of.
Definitely. If you're just joining the channel, thank you for showing up. Shake Money, I see you in here. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. BMCD, I see you, bro. Concrete's in here. Good morning to y'all. If I missed anybody, IMAX is in here. What's up, IMAX? What's going on? If I missed anybody, shout out to y'all. I want to make sure I shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you hit like and subscribe if you haven't. We're talking Miami Dolphins. So, Color, we got about 20-something. We're kind of ahead of the schedule, Color, to be honest. Let me see if there's any other last-minute news.
That's because I wasn't here to slow you down with my witty comments.
I actually missed your witty comments, to be honest, Color. So, just trying to see if there's any last-minute news that we missed. Let's see here. Just trying to see if there's anything going on. Got anything for us, Color? While I'm looking up to see if there's any last minute news.
Not really. I mean, I've not earlier. You were talking about the linebacker crew, and yeah, I think that as long as Cater Kahoo is the best open field tackler on our team, I think that we need to address things in the linebacker room.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. So, Color, there's about 11 days, from what I understand, till rookies report for training camp.
Mm-hmm.
So can't wait for that. And like I said to you guys earlier, if you're looking for training camp tickets, Miami has released them. You can go to their website and there's a link if there's any available, because the availability is limited and there's only 10 practices that they're going to allow. Go check it out. See if you can get any. It's a great experience. You get the inside scoop on watching the players train and what drills they do. It's cool to see everybody. It kind of brings back football a little bit earlier than the season. So definitely check it out. I know I may have some extra tickets that maybe we'll give away around here, but I'll discuss that with you, Color, and we'll figure things out if we have to do that.
Right on.
I don't really see any late breaking news. I just wanted to let me check this one real quick and see if there's anything else to talk about. Let me see when this came out. 1 second.
Oh, by the way,
Hmm.
what's today? July 7th?
Today's July 7th, correct.
It is July 7th, and the sun rose again in South Florida.
Yeah? And may it rise every day for the rest of our lives.
And we're still a polite society.
This is true. Mm-hmm. Already knew about that. Huh. Yeah, we've pretty much we've hit all the big news really. There's really not very much news besides us signing Cam Smith to his first NFL contract. That happened. I talked about what Vic Fangio stated in regards to the defense maybe having some holes. We discussed in length about Dalvin Cook. Is he worth the $7 million contract? Omar Kelly put out a report basically putting the number of how much the top 10 quarterback or running backs make. And, is he worth $7 million a season or north of that? That's basically what we discussed. Let me just see here. What is this?
And what did Omar Kelly say? Yes or no?
He kind of put the question out there. He didn't really answer the question. He did broke down a lot of different contracts that a lot of the top 10 running backs have, and where if this report is true that Dalvin Cook wants around $7 million or north of it per season, what would be considered fair. I'm saying 3 years, $21 million, $14 million guaranteed. So the third year is an opt out. I think that's worth it. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, that would be fair.
I wouldn't pay more than that, to be honest, because
that's very similar to the last contract that Fournette got with Tampa Bay, and you're talking 3 years ago.
Yeah, definitely. That's kind of where I'm at. There's really not a lot to talk about regarding news, but let's take this last 20 minutes. I'm going to do a quick rundown, and then we can open it up to the chat to create the content and ask questions, and we can comment on. How about that? What do you think of that?
Sounds good, but man, chat's lacking sometimes, bro. We need to get some questions up, dang it.
Yeah, so take this time while I do the rundown to put in questions. It doesn't matter, Miami Dolphins questions or questions about the cost for cleats that I mentioned today.
It's the off season, man.
Yeah, which if you didn't know, Color, I was talking about EJI.org. It's the Equal Justice Initiative, which is, we've kind of gone through all of the Miami Dolphins cause for cleats that are mentioned by the NFL. So I started looking up older players, old former Miami Dolphin players, what their causes were. That was Ryan Tannehill's cause, just so you know. So that's why I brought it up. And if you didn't know, the Equal Justice Initiative is an initiative designed to help people that are affected by injustice or wrongly incarcerated or overly punished for things that they shouldn't necessarily have been, and or people that are from marginalized um, or economically lacking communities,
Right.
and help them get assistance with stuff like that. So that's what
Maybe
that's for.
right. Maybe something a little better than the public defender.
Yes, exactly. So that being said, check out eji.org for more information on how you can donate, what programs are available. If you know someone that needs assistance, you can definitely refer them to them. So check out eji.org. But let's do the rundown real quick before. Oh, looks like we got something here. Shout out to Mr. Palk. Ali and Colors, salute to y'all. Morning show. Thank you. I appreciate Mr. Palk. Really,
Yeah,
really
absolutely,
appreciate
Mr.
it.
Falk. Appreciate that.
Just want to make sure we didn't miss any other donations. I gotta remember.
Mr. Falk's like, it's Friday. I ain't got nothing to do. I'm gonna give Ali and Color some money.
Appreciate that. So thank you. Appreciate that. Definitely. Let's keep it going with the rundown. So, if you didn't know, check out the El Capitan show Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Yesterday, he had a really good show with Brian Catt. They broke down the 53-man roster. Definitely check it out. He's also going to be calling the Sunday games as well. If he's not at the game, he's going to be calling it. You can check out me and Color in the mornings, top of the tailgate from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. Sometimes Color will be going afterwards or extending his segment with coffee as well. Shout out to KP, man. KP is going to be hitting here strong soon. We have a new team member, so shout out to KP. We also got Lewis and Shake Money doing the Smoke Lounge, doing Spaces. You can also find Shake Money on Saturday nights and in the blender on the Larry K Show. So check out Shake Money and Lewis. Shout out to those guys. If you'd like an apron, talk to Lewis, or you can go to this place right here.
Get ready to dive into a new world of online shopping with the Finn's Tailgate. Whether you're a die-hard sports fan or just looking for the latest fashion trends, we've got you covered. With a wide variety of products from your favorite sports teams to stylish accessories and home decor, we're your one-stop shop for all things tailgate. Our easy-to-use website and hassle-free checkout process make shopping with us a breeze. Plus, with frequent sales and discounts, you won't want to shop anywhere else. So come on in and join the party at the Finn's Tailgate, your new go-to destination for all things tailgate.
Definitely check out TFTGnetwork.com. It's your one-stop shop for tailgate, Finn's Tailgate everything. And I'm not just talking merch, people. That's not what this is about. This is a one-stop shop for all TFTG TFTG content. Everything from our Twitter feeds to our playlists for all of our shows that we've done and content that you can go back, as well as there's going to be articles and blogs that myself and Color and El Capitan write that we're going to be posting as we go along through the season about certain narratives and certain things going on with our team during the season. So definitely check it out. Again, that's tftgnetwork.com. If you sign up for the newsletter, which is free to do so, you get 10% off your first purchase on the merch store. We got a variety of awesome merch. It's none of just your hats or your t-shirts. There's all different types of graphic tees from my show, all the different shows. There's like stickers, cooking utensils. There's purses for the ladies. There's a ton of stuff on there. There's even playing cards and stuff, as you've seen. So definitely check it out. If you'd like to donate to the channel, we do accept Cash App, Venmo, as well as super stickers and super chats. You don't have to if you don't want to, but we appreciate it. So, like Mr. Pollock, thank you very much. Again, you didn't have to, but we definitely appreciate it. It helps out the channel, keeps it going. So make sure you hit like and subscribe.
Sorry to interrupt, Ali. I just wanted to get that out there, make sure we saw it.
Yeah, definitely. Prayers up to Batman and his dad. Please pray for them. Things not looking good. I definitely agree. Thank you, Los Dolphinaticos, I agree 100%. Shout out to Batman, and prayers are with him and his family. Um, I've been in a similar situation, and I know it's really tough, and my heart goes out to him and his family, definitely. So thank you for bringing that up. Um, where was I? Okay, so yeah, so check out the stuff. If you're looking in the links below, you'll see some of our affiliates as well. And shout out to them. We got Backroom Collection. Backroom Collection has a variety of different custom canvas artwork that you can virtually hang anywhere and everywhere. Everywhere from your patio to your office, your place of business, your restroom, your grandmother's kitchen. It doesn't matter. You can hang it somewhere. They got everything from Miami Dolphins and other sports. They also do custom stuff, so you can reach out to them. They're a mom and pop type of place. Really awesome people. They also have accessories for like little mini helmets that everybody collects. So definitely check out Backroom Collection. And then you can also check out Doobie Energy Drink. They have a variety of different flavors. They claim not to have some of the artificial flavors and byproducts that cause harm to the body. They also have a lot more minerals and minerals and vitamins that help benefit the brain and help with focus and concentration, as well as they don't cause that jittering and crashing that most energy drink supplements do. So check them out. They have a variety of different flavors. Check out Shake Money's show here on the Tailgate. He has a review that he did on the product. He likes it. He's going to be breaking down every flavor. He has the variety pack that's coming in. I believe that starts this Saturday. Check out a show coming up from Shake Money. He has a show this Saturday. Well, he'll be doing some breakdowns of some of the flavors that they offer. Last but not least, let's not forget about Fanatic.
New seasons, new gear. Show the world what it means to be a fan in 100% authentic gear. Fanatics, officially licensed everything.
That's right, Fanatics officially licensed everything. You can get everything from jerseys to the draft hats that I collect, to custom stuff. They're super fast in shipping. Even their regular shipping is fast. I ordered something on a Friday, and I kid you not, I got it on Monday. That's how fast they were. It was really awesome. They always got deals going on. Use the link below. If you use the link below, you get all the same deals and everything. It's just that it helps out the channel. It gives us some credit for sending you. So it's like dropping our name. So I appreciate that, if you did that and everything. So rock and roll to Fanatics. We appreciate, what they provide as well. So I hope you guys have questions that you put in the chat. I really want some good content, questions from you guys. It's your one chance. So definitely.
And of course, once again, if you want to see what it looks like in the herb garden, the color commentary mug in the herb garden. So for all you gardeners out there, this is what it would look while you're drinking your morning coffee and watering your herb garden. That's what it looks like in the herb garden.
So Joe Levesque color is saying that Fanatics should take that spot of yours and get it on radio and XM radio.
Yeah, that'd be cool. They can call me anytime,
Definitely.
I don't need a lot. I probably need a lot less than they pay them guys normally to do it. Just saying, Fanatics. Call me.
Yeah, that's true. Put your questions for us in the chat. If you have questions you want us to add or some subject you want us to talk about, put it in the chat. This is the time for you guys to do it. We got about 10 minutes left. I'm only here till 8 a.m. So put your chats, your questions that you have. We'll do some Q&A for the last 10 minutes.
And yes, the color commentary mug does make you more intelligent and wiser.
So there's a request being made for you, Color.
Uh-oh.
Scar 305 is asking that you do the
I know
Mark
what Scar
voice.
wants.
Can you please do the Mark voice, please?
Scar always wants the Mark voice.
Well, I can tell you this, that I have personally drank out of the color commentary mug, and it has changed my life. I am now a 100% full-fledged Miami Dolphins fan because I let the grace of color run through my veins, and it really tasted really good. That's what I'll have to say about that. So buy yourself a color commentary coffee mug today.
That's really interesting. Joe is asking our first question. Okay, here we go. You ready for a good question, Color? Tyndall.
Well, it depends on if Mark's still here or not.
So he's asking, Tyndall, does he get on the field as a starter by the end of the year? That is the question.
I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
If you're talking about substantial playing time, maybe once, I guess you could say, yeah, he'll be on the field at least once.
As a starter.
You would think, but if you're talking about considerable, like real playing time, I say no. I mean, to me, linebacker is, at the start of it is pretty much run, find the running back, and put him on the ground, and that's been one of the areas we lack. So for the fact that he hasn't been on the field already tells me that he ain't much better than the rest of them we got in that arena.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Scotty says Tyndall and Good will have trouble even making the 53-man roster. I'm gonna I see what you're saying, but I don't think Tyndall is gonna have that much trouble because until we address that need in the inside linebacker core, I think he's the next best man up. So therefore, by default, I think he makes the roster. Unless we go out and get a Quan Alexander, then I could see where, okay, maybe that might be, he might be on the bubble. But here's the reality of it. Will Tyndall be a starter by the end of the season? It's only going to be up to Tyndall. Tyndall has to show out and show up on this team. He has to put everything, all of his knowledge, his God-given ability and everything on the field and show Vic Fangio and the team why they drafted him or why he's special, right? What we heard on early on in OTAs, he hasn't really showed up, which means that he really hasn't done anything special to stand out and kind of put his foot in the dirt to say, hey, I have a claim to being on this roster. And that's what we need from him going into training camp and through the season. Will that happen? We'll find out. We'll see what the kid is made of. I really would hope so because I think he has a lot of God-given talent that we could definitely benefit from, and I think he has the ability to. It's just a matter of putting it together and showing good complete work. There was something else that was stated I wanted to.
72 Fins logo is asking who my number 2 quarterback is. And, honestly, I understand that the money is wrapped up in Mike White, but honestly, we got a guy on our roster that has playoff experience. That's got to weigh heavily on, making Skyler number 2. If it can't, then what are we even playing for? What is a player even playing for?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. I think that as of right now, I think that Skyler is the number 2 because he has a whole year of being underneath this system where Mike White hasn't. And in addition, he also has the playoff experience on top of it where Mike White doesn't. Now, here is the one thing that I took a little bit of takeaway of one of Omar's many articles that I read today. He did say that Skylar Thompson was working out. Jalen Waddle was working out with all 3 quarterbacks, by the way. So that is actually good news to hear. You know what I mean? In a sense, because then he's trying to bring he's bringing some of that chemistry together with all three, regardless of which quarterback it is.
Definitely.
So
Concrete's asking, will Iggy make the 50-man, 3-man roster? I say yes. I'm going to go with Xavier Howard's opinion on that. I say yes.
yeah, specifically also for me, a yes too as of right now. The money, even if we cut him, I believe he still makes the same. The cap hit is the same as what his money is. I don't think there's really hardly savings there, to be honest. Keon Crossan is who I have on the bubble, to be honest, because you cut him, you save $3 million off the cap.
Right.
So he's the odd man out for me. So
Mr. Palk's asking if there's a tight end in free agency available. I don't believe so at this point.
Let me look real quick. That's a good
Not anybody that would improve our room.
There might be some. And let me go to available. Let's see here. Former Miami Dolphins Ethan Carter is still a free agent. So is Adam Shaheen. Kyle Rudolph.
Well, that's an old serviceable vet.
All right, see Max Williams. He played for Arizona, I believe. Mercedes Lewis, the former Packer and Jaguar.
Oh, you mean so Rodgers didn't see fit to grab him over to New York with the rest of his crew?
Yeah, I mean that is they haven't signed him yet. He has
thrown a lot of touchdowns to Mercedes Lewis. It's amazing he didn't call him over there.
The rumor is that he wants Mercedes Lewis and Mercedes Lewis wants to go there, but they haven't, nothing's happened on that. If Miami were to get that, that'd be kind of interesting. So, but I like Mercedes Lewis or Kyle Rudolph. Would that upgrade the current tight end room? That's a question mark.
I'm not so sure, to be honest with you. I mean, there's a lot of aspects too, besides just, are they a good tight end? Are they a fit for Tua? Or any of our quarterbacks? Are they a fit for our system? There's a lot more to it than just bringing in a name that's been good,
This is true. Trying to see if there was any other questions. I have one thing I do want to share with you guys that's coming up. That I think you guys are going to get a kick out of. Joe Levesque is asking, this will be our last question before 8 o'clock. Did the Dolphins go with 3 quarterbacks into the season again this year with the new QB role?
I say, go ahead.
I'm going to say yes, they do. They're definitely going to go.
I am in agreement.
If they don't, whoever they cut that makes the practice squad or whatever won't make the practice squad, because it doesn't matter if it's Skyler or Mike White. I guarantee someone's going to eat them up, right?
Mainly the 49ers.
Yeah, or even New England. Don't be surprised. And in addition to that, I think that based on the rules and what our main concern is with Tua, we have to make sure that he stays healthy. You want to have that backup plan. You don't want to go into the next season again with the same issue where you don't have really a solidified backup plan.
Yeah, and based on what we did last year when the rule wasn't that way, if you want to get a no out of me, you would just adjust that to 4. Do we keep 4 quarterbacks? And then I would say no. But based on what we did last year, and the fact that the rule is now changed to make it easier to keep a 3rd quarterback, I don't see any reason why we would reverse that decision and do anything different than we did last year in that regard. So yeah, I would say, it's pretty much a shoe-in that we keep 3 quarterbacks.
So it's the 8 o'clock hour. This is the end of our show. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. We appreciate it. Appreciate everybody here. Color, you got any last words for us?
No, maybe I'll come by when I can stay longer, you know.
I'd love you if you stay longer, definitely. But definitely make sure you hit like and subscribe. I did have something special I wanted to present to you guys, but I just remembered I got to talk to Color about it beforehand.
Uh-oh.
We will present that going Monday. We'll have it scheduled. Color already knows what I'm talking about because he's going to be going with me. So definitely stay tuned. I got something special to share with you guys. But anyway, I love you all. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. Leave comments below so we know how we can improve the show. Tell me what you think of the content. If you liked it or not, let me know. With that, I give everyone adieu. Peace out. Fins up.
Yeah.